Are you preparing for NEET, JEE or school exams? Have you ever noticed how different you are from your batchmates or friends? Someone has a very strong memory and someone is so quick at grasping concepts. Then why should everyone prepare the same way?
Alan has been delivering results for the past 35 years. Building on this foundation, Alan brings you the Alan app, a new era of learning where everything for your preparation is specially designed for you using AI-powered technology. Let's take an example of Alicia from Mysore and Piyush from Vizag. As they study on the Alan app, we continuously analyze their performance. What topics are they weak at? Why and where they are going wrong? Based on these insights, personalized practice quizzes, study plans, and test strategies are generated for both of them. For instance, in Piyush's chemistry quiz, 50% of the questions are from organic chemistry because that's where he needs to focus. Alicia, on the other hand, needs to work on her speed. Not only that, the Alan app's study planner creates a weekly plan for every student, allowing them to focus solely on their studies. For Alicia, the plan focuses on practicing biomolecules this week, while Piyush needs to concentrate on atomic theory lectures and notes. Alan not only prepares you for the exam, but also supports you in every aspect of your journey. If you have doubts, you can instantly clarify them on the app or directly with the faculty. Feeling worried, nervous or confused? Connect with a mentor. Parents too get the right support through regular updates and PTMs so they can support you in the right way. We are offering free crash courses for 10th boards, JEE and NEET so that you can experience the new Alan app. Download the app.
Good evening everyone. Welcome back to Alan Digital. In this rapid session, we are going to cover the prose part of your first flight book. In the morning, we had covered the poetry section and I hope if you had attended and all the poems we had discussed along with the key points and extract based questions, poetic devices, short questions and long questions. In this section also, I am going to cover each and every chapter which is there in your first flight prose. So just let me know in the comment section if you all are ready. You can keep your book handy so that you can put a tick in your index that you have covered this chapter thoroughly. And I make sure that after this revision, you don't have to revise it again because you will be thorough with all the chapters that are there in your prose section. So just let me know. Very good evening all of you. Good evening Vishal. Ridhima, I think you were there in the morning also. Hi. Subarna, hello again. You were again in the morning. I remember the names, some of the names. So one student had asked me one question related to the poetic device in fire and ice. That also I will tell you. There was some student, I think she hasn't joined yet. As soon as she joins, I will discuss that question with you because that question was really important. I saw, जब मैं almost ख़त्म कर चुकी थी live session, तब मैंने वो question देखा, but तब तक session ख़त्म हो चुका था, इसलिए मैं discuss नहीं कर पाई वो वाला question, but then I will discuss with you. अभी सब लोग ready हैं? जायद, English का paper है ना बेटा? तो हिंदी में कैसे समझोगे? इंग्लिश में समझोगे तभी तो आप लिख पाओगे. ट्राई करो, थोड़ा थोड़ा इंग्लिश सेंटेंसेस को, फ्रेजेस को याद करने की कोशिश करेंगे सो दैट इट विल बी ईजी फॉर यू टू अटेम्प्ट द क्वेश्चन पेपर इन इंग्लिश. ओके, वैसे तो मैं मिक्स लैंग्वेज यूज़ करूँगी. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेक अप कंप्लीट इंग्लिश language, but I will be in mixed language, but I would request you to try to understand English phrases and sentences only so that you can frame the answer. Audio video सब clear है? Hello Raj Lakshmi. Audio video सब cool? Good to go? चलिए start करते हैं. This is the syntax of your first, this is the index of your first flight book, that is prose. Let me select the pen for you. Just a minute. Red color choose कर ले. Red color दिखेगा आपको easily. देख लो एक बार रेड कलर विजिबल है कि नहीं बोर्ड पे. दिस रेड कलर, अदरवाइज आई विल चेंज द कलर ऑफ द पेन. रेड कलर देख लो विजिबल है ना. सो सबसे पहला है लेटर टू गॉड विच इज रिटन डाउन बाय G.L. Fuentes. यू शुड रिमेंबर द नेम ऑफ द ऑथर, बट ज़्यादातर पोइट्स के नाम पूछते हैं CBSE. प्रोज राइटर्स के कम आते हैं क्वेश्चंस. स्टिल जब आप आंसर लिख रहे हैं बेटर होगा कहीं ना कहीं आप हियर एंड देयर यू शुड मेंशन द नेम ऑफ द ऑथर ऑल्सो. दैट शोज दैट यू नो हु इज द राइटर ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टोरी. ओके, सो लेटर टू गॉड इज बाय G.L. Fuentes. उसके बाद हम डिस्कस करेंगे नेल्सन मंडेला, अ लॉन्ग वॉक टू फ्रीडम. इसका सब टाइटल आपको याद रखना है, दैट इज लॉन्ग वॉक टू फ्रीडम, जो नेल्सन मंडेला ने खुद ने लिखा है. 2 स्टोरीज अबाउट फ्लाइंग में 2 पार्ट्स है बच्चों, हिज फर्स्ट फ्लाइट एंड ब्लैक एरोप्लेन, दोनों डिस्कस करेंगे. देन फ्रॉम द डायरी ऑफ एन फ्रैंक, ग्लिम्सेस ऑफ इंडिया के 3 पार्ट्स हैं, बेकर फ्रॉम गोवा, कुर्ग एंड टी फ्रॉम असम. उसके बाद जो आपका चैप्टर आएगा मिजबिल दी ऑटर, ठीक है, मैडम राइड्स द बस, द सर्मन एट बनारस एंड द प्रपोजल. तो इसी तरीके से हमारे पास कितने चैप्टर्स हो गए, 1 2 3, आई एम नॉट काउंटिंग दीज पार्ट्स, मैं इसको पूरा एक चैप्टर ही मान रही हूँ, ठीक है. 6 7 8 एंड 9. तो 9 चैप्टर्स हम डिटेल में करेंगे. पेन रिधिमा कह रही है विजिबल है रेड कलर, जायद कह रहे हैं विजिबल नहीं है. जायद थोड़ी देर वेट करो, सब विजिबल होगा, डोंट वरी. रेड, येलो, पिंक, ब्लू सब समझ में आएगा, जस्ट हैव पेशेंस जायद, ठीक है. अब टाइम को बिल्कुल भी वेस्ट नहीं करेंगे, जल्दी से इसका ब्रशअप शुरू करेंगे और ख़त्म करेंगे. लेटर टू गॉड. Let's start with the central character of the chapter, that is Lencho, who is a dedicated farmer expecting a decent rain. I'm sure आपने टेक्स्ट एक बार तो पढ़ा होगा पूरे साल में, नहीं पढ़ा है तो कोई बात नहीं, ये की पॉइंट्स देख लो अभी तो लास्ट मोमेंट पे. अनएक्सपेक्टेड हेल स्टॉर्म, एकदम से वो बारिश किस में बदल जाती है, तूफान में बदल जाती है. बारिश के स्नो के जो आइस पीसेज हैं ये गिरने लगते हैं, हेल स्टोन्स गिरने लगते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ रेन ड्रॉप्स. डिस्ट्रॉयड द हार्वेस्ट, फार्मर अटरली अनहैप्पी बट बिलीव्स इन गॉड एंड हिज वेज. पर बहुत पक्का विश्वास है उसको गॉड में, उसको ऐसा लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं से कोई ना कोई हेल्प डेफिनेटली गॉड हमें भेज देंगे. डिसाइडेड टू कॉरस्पॉन्ड डायरेक्टली विद गॉड, उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि मैं चलो गॉड के साथ कम्युनिकेट करता हूँ. ही रोट अ लेटर रिक्वेस्टिंग गॉड to send how many pesos? 100 pesos. Pesos is a Mexican currency. तो हमें पता है कि मेक्सिको का फार्मर है and he asked for survival. Posted the letter with name God. अब जैसे ही वो लेटर पोस्ट ऑफिस पहुंचा, पोस्टमैन ने देखा उस पर लिखा है गॉड, जोर जोर से हंसने लगा. फिर वो गया पोस्ट मास्टर के पास. ही रश्ड टू द पोस्ट मास्टर फॉर द असिस्टेंस. एट फर्स्ट पोस्ट मास्टर को भी हंसी आ गई. ही चकल्ड, देन गॉट सीरियस, एकदम से सीरियस हो गया. एक्ट ऑफ चैरिटी ही एक्यूमुलेटेड, ही कलेक्टेड हाउ मच मनी, 70 पेसोस. आउट ऑफ 100 70 पेसोस ही वो कलेक्ट कर पाया, क्योंकि वो चाहता था कि वो उसकी हेल्प करे. ही वॉज सो स्पेल बाउंड बाय द फेथ दैट वॉज रिफ्लेक्टेड बाय द फार्मर लेंचो, एंड दैट्स वाई ही डिड नॉट वॉन्ट टू डिसअपॉइंट हिम. इसीलिए उन्होंने सोचा कि चलो इसकी मदद करी जाए. अब फार्मर को गुस्सा आया, लेंचो को गुस्सा आया. क्यों? क्योंकि उसको ऐसा लगा कि भगवान ने तो 100 पैसों ही भेजे होंगे, बट इन्होंने, ये जो पोस्टमैन हैं, इस पोस्ट ऑफिस के जो लोग हैं, एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं, इन्होंने ही ज़रूर मेरे पैसे चुरा लिए होंगे. So asked for the remaining amount, suggested not to send via mail, rather directly, stated post office employees as bunch of crooks. इस पे बहुत बार क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. Why does he call the post office employees as bunch of crooks? विशाल ने यहाँ पे कुछ पूछा है. New silver coins indicate hailstones and new coins for rain drops, right? So let me tell you, Vishal, earlier in the story, these raindrops are compared with silver coins, okay? But then afterwards, जब वो hailstones गिरने लगते हैं, वो actually silver coins की तरह दिखते हैं, but वो कोई उसको money नहीं दिलाने वाले, क्योंकि उसकी वजह से फसल खराब हो जाएगी. So hailstones look like silver coins, but they are not at all going to fetch money to Lencho. So this is the difference between raindrops compared with silver coins and then hailstones compared with silver coins. Did you understand, Vishal? Okay, that's great. Why were hailstones compared with salt, not sugar? Shraddha, that is totally the author's choice, right? Because he wanted to compare it with salt, so he covered. Maybe it looked like that because that must be in his mind. You never know what is going on in the mind of the author. So that is obvious. Whatever suited him, he just used it. If anything white could have been used, okay, but still he chose salt. Right. So the following Sunday lencho, ये पूरा extract है, जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ेंगे. According to the extract, what was the belief of lencho? आंसर करें. 4 ऑप्शंस आपको दिए हुए होंगे. एक्सट्रैक्ट में से 1 या 2 मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस होंगे बच्चों. So you should be able to answer. कौन सा आंसर सही होगा? According to the extract, what was the belief of lencho? So most of you are saying option number D, like Tanishk, Ridhima, Sushant and Rupal, which is absolutely correct, both A and B. God couldn't make a mistake in sending the money. God couldn't deny what he had requested. ये दोनों ही बातें उसको बहुत अच्छे से याद थी लेंचो को, इसीलिए उन्होंने ऐसा किया. Pranay has written something here related to salt and sugar. Please sort it out. Sugar is sweet and hailstorm cannot be good while salt is bitter and shows it. हाँ, ये भी एक बहुत अच्छा मेटाफर हो सकता है प्रणय. बहुत सही बात कही आपने, क्योंकि वो कहता है ना जले पे नमक छिड़कना. So that shows something negative. It gives a negative connotation. हो सकता है, इसीलिए उन्होंने ऐसा कहा हो. ये बिल्कुल सही connotation हो सकता है. Very good, Pranay. Wonderful. Why did Lencho go a bit early to the post office the following Sunday? ठीक है, वाई डिड लेंचो गो अ बिट अर्ली. इसका आंसर क्या होगा बच्चों? इस तरीके से आपको आंसर प्रेजेंट करना है. 1-2 लाइन्स का आंसर होगा, ये एक्सट्रैक्ट बेस्ड होगा. सिंस लेंचो हैड एन अनरेलेंटिंग फेथ, अनरेलेंटिंग जिसको कोई कम नहीं कर सकता, जिसको कोई झुका नहीं सकता. अनरेलेंटिंग फेथ इन गॉड एंड हिज मर्सी. ही वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग अ रिप्लाई फ्रॉम हिम, देयरफॉर ही वेंट टू द पोस्ट ऑफिस अ बिट अर्लियर दैन यूजुअल. ठीक है, ये अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. एक बार देखो A to D and identify which one correctly corresponds to Lencho. Is it blind faith in God? Is it superstitious nature of village people? Is it suspicious of all government authorities or all of the above? तो कौन सा लेंचो के लिए है इस एक्सट्रैक्ट से रिलेटेड? Which description identifies correctly with Lencho? Can you tell? Yes, Rupal. Absolutely correct. Acha, okay. Priyanshu, hi, I remember you now. That's great. Good to see you, Priyanshu. So, answer will be blind faith in God. This is the correct answer. I'm sure you will be able to find out in the exam also if you know the text line-wise. How much money did Lencho receive? Anyone remembers? Out of 100, how many pesos? Okay, so 70 pesos were received by Lencho. You should remember this amount. Out of 100, it was only 70 pesos. Short answer type question hai ye. People get support from family and friends during bad times. How does Lencho's family behave? Very, very important question. How does family behaves? You know, you should know how does family behave at that time, particularly when he lost the crop. Though Lencho's family was distressed after the crop, obviously they were distressed, but they expressed firm faith in God. Firm faith in God. They believed that no one dies of hunger. ये line important है. They believed that no one dies of hunger. ये कुछ lines हमने pick up करी है आपके लिए so that you remember and use them in your answer during the exam. Again, how do you like the character of the postmaster in the story A Letter to God? Give reasons for your answer. You will have to provide some evidence from the story, from the text, okay? The postmaster was a fat and friendly fellow. First, you will provide the physical attributes of the postmaster. He was fat and friendly fellow. He was a sensible human being. He first laughed looking at the letter, which had a strange address. But soon he became serious. He was surprised at the faith that Lencho had in God. He wanted his faith not to be shaken. The postmaster himself gave a part of his salary and also requested his employees and a few friends to contribute for charity. He felt happy and satisfied when Lencho received the money. Okay, this shows that he was a kind and empathetic person. ये दो words याद रखने हैं, kind and empathetic person as well. Who? The postmaster. He loved to help others. Is it clear, everybody? Now, that's all about a letter to God. Now we are moving to the next chapter, that is Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom. Are you all ready for revising this chapter? And I hope that there's no query remained in A Letter to God. You are all clear with the letter to God. This is Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. Quickly, I'll give you a review of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela served as the first president of the South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. Transformation of Nelson Mandela. Please pay attention, everybody. Transformation of Nelson Mandela. This is very, very important. You should remember how he transformed. Earlier, he was law-abiding attorney. Okay, he always followed law. But then he became a criminal in the eyes of law. Why? Because he started fighting for himself and his people. That's why he became a criminal. Family-loving man he turns into. He loves his family. He wanted to extend his family, but he was not allowed to because he was a black citizen of South Africa. So he lived like a monk later on. Why? Because he was rebelling against the apartheid movement. So this is the transformation of Nelson Mandela. You should remember these points as it is. It will help you. Yes, Riddhima. Now, took place in Union Building, Pretoria. This inauguration ceremony, ये question भी आता है बहुत बार. Inauguration ceremony कहाँ हुई थी? क्या क्या हुआ था वहाँ पे? So you should remember some points related to that from the text itself to provide that in the answer. So, took place in Union Building, Pretoria, installation on non-racial and democratic government. This happened. What happened? Installation on non-racial and democratic government. Order of events, क्या क्या होता है वहाँ पे? Sequence of events. First, oath is taken. And then jet flying over the building. Remember, there were Impala jets creating the V sign. Okay, 2 national anthems were sung. Do you remember the names of the national anthems that were sung during the ceremony, inauguration ceremony? That was Nkosi Sikelel and I Africa. Nkosi Sikelel and I Africa. Yes, in that amphitheater. Vishal has asked me something. They asked, does hailstone resemble new silver coins? Yes, yes, it does, Vishal. It does. But these silver coins are not going to fetch him any profit. That also you have to mention, Vishal. ठीक है? Yes, die stem. Aha, fine. Yes, that's great. Yes, Priyanshu. Die stem and I Africa. And Nkosi Sikelel also was there, na? Nkosi Sikelel I Africa and die stem. True. Next, Nelson Mandela's speech. This is again important, this entire chapter. Okay, so what are the points that are covered in Nelson Mandela's speech? He talks about the history and pays homage to the national martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the sake of their motherland. वो सारे patriots, वो सारे martyrs जिनके बारे में इन्होंने बात करी उनकी speech में, considers it victory of justice. ये 3 words याद रखने हैं. पहला justice, दूसरा peace and तीसरा human dignity. He talks about twin obligations also towards first family, second nation. Okay, he talks about these duties. The country of South Africa is rich in minerals and gems, but the greatest wealth of country is its people. He tells no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. Pledges to free people from poverty, deprivation and discrimination. That's what he promised, that I'm going to make people free from poverty, deprivation and discrimination. These terms you should use in your answer. Now, first question, the speaker's attitude towards his freedom when he was in his boyhood can be summed up as what? MCQ this is. Being self-centered, being naive, being foolish, being indifferent to others. Which option will be correct as per this extract? This is the extract from Nelson Mandela. Yes, keep telling me the answer. Being naive. Yes, Priyanshu, because he did not know what is real freedom at that time. Okay, he did not know what is that boyhood freedom. He was very naive. It was an illusion, you know. So later on he realizes the true meaning of freedom, right? How does Nelson Mandela understand the concept of transitory freedom? Pay attention. Transitory freedom क्या होती है? Transitory means temporary. Okay, so transitory freedom for him meant staying out at night. Very important. Please remember, कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं Nelson Mandela से. Whatever we have picked up here, that is all kind of important. Okay, so staying out at night first, reading what he lied second, and going where he chose third. This was Mandela's concept of freedom when he was young and limited to personal liberty and enjoyment. Personal liberty. Right? This is transitory freedom. Clear everybody? Are you following me? समझ में आ रहा है? In the statement, I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it. What was Mandela hungering after? Is it the desire to lead a normal, respectful life? What? Naive means the person who is not very experienced, beta. Priya, inexperienced person. That is naive. Okay? Priya, answer will be A. The desire to lead a normal, respectful life as a citizen. That's what he wanted, right? But that was not allowed because he was black. Okay. If point of view is the narration of a story that can be told from a first, second or third person's point of view, the given extract is told in which point of view? Can you tell? Is it the first point of view, second point of view or the third point of view? Which point of view has been used here? Rupal is asking me why not C? Let me go back to that question. The breaking of the chains that bound his fellow citizens. Beta, why not C? Because fellow citizens की याद तो उसको बाद में आती है ना, पहले तो उसको खुद को फ्रीडम चाहिए होती है ना. रिमेंबर, धीरे धीरे जब वो बड़े होने लगे उनको रियलाइज़ होने लगा कि वो सब कुछ करने के लिए फ्री नहीं है, वो अपनी फैमिली का ध्यान रखने के लिए फ्री नहीं है. ही कैन नॉट फॉलो, ही कैन नॉट परस्यू अ रिस्पेक्टेबल प्रोफेशन ऑल्सो. फिर उसने देखा कि सिर्फ मैं ही फ्री नहीं हूँ, मेरे आसपास जो मेरे भाई बहन हैं वो भी फ्री नहीं है, मेरी फैमिली फ्री नहीं है, सोसाइटी के लोग फ्री नहीं हैं. सो पहले इस एक्सट्रैक्ट के हिसाब से बेटा दिस विल बी द करेक्ट आंसर. इज इट क्लियर एवरीबडी? Okay, so yes, it will be first person's point of view because there is the use of I. Did you understand? So next question is, what does courage mean to Mandela? What is the meaning of courage? So according to Nelson Mandela, to Mandela courage is to risk and give one's life for what? For an idea of freedom, liberty. Okay, so courage to stand up to attacks and tortures without breaking and to show strength and resilience that are unimaginable. So this is again important. मतलब आप ये मान के चलो कि हर क्वेश्चन जो हमने लिया है वो इम्पॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि वो टर्म्स ही ऐसी हैं उसमें. यू नो, यू शुड रिमेंबर व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू इन दिस सेशन. ओके, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ ब्लेसिंग फॉर यू ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम. सो रेजिलियंस एंड स्ट्रेंथ दैट आर अनइमेजिनेबल. यस, रिधिमा. So absence, not the absence of fear, but triumph over it, right? The quality of humanity is the hallmark of free people? Very good question. Wow, what a line it is. So quality of humanity is the hallmark of free people. Discuss it with reference to Nelson Mandela. चलो पढ़ते हैं इसको. In this chapter, Mandela mentions 2 obligations. कौन से? That one has to fulfill in a free civil society. The first is related to man's duty towards his family. First obligation, please remember, first obligation is for family, second obligation is for people, towards his people, country and society. Okay, those who perform these 2 obligations are truly humane. They treat others well. They are also treated well. They are really free people. Mandela rightly points out that neither the oppressed nor the oppressor is free. This line is again important. Both are robbed of their humanity. The oppressor is the slave of hatred, insecurity, and cannot be called free. In a truly free society, all enjoy equal rights and privileges. Did you understand this question, everybody? Vishal, you should remember 2 or 3 names of the patriots that he took during the speech. Okay? Which one, beta? This one. Quality of humanity is the hallmark of free people. People can only be free when they believe in one religion, that is humanity. Clear now? Rupal? So, humanity is the hallmark of free people. This is the meaning of this line. Okay, great. So, next chapter is 2 stories. First, we are going to take his first flight. Are you ready, everybody? So, these seagulls we are going to meet. Beautiful story, how the mother deals with the seagull in this chapter, and how does the mother deal with Amanda, remember, in poetry section. There can be a comparison between these 2 mothers, mother of Amanda, mother of seagull. Okay, so let's have a look at the key points related to young seagull. Look at the transformation now. Transformation in the character again is very very important. Okay, Nelson Mandela के अंदर हमने transformation देखा है. लेंचो में तो कोई change as such नहीं आया, but postmaster में हमने transformation देखा. Transformation in the character, another important question. Okay, so in the beginning, how was the seagull? He was afraid, hungry, he did not take risk. But later, he takes risk. He discovers that he can fly. He flies with family and he is happy. So, these are the changes that occur. There was a family of 6 seagulls. Father, mother, 3 brothers and 1 sister. They lived on the top of a ledge. The 2 elder brothers and sister had already learned to fly, but the young seagull could not collect enough courage to fly. Parents left the youngest son alone on this ledge and flew away to another ledge. Okay, they encouraged, scolded and threatened him. Then what happened? 24 hours passed. One day, the day was getting hot. The young seagull was hungry and tired. Mother seagull was worried about her son. He saw his mother tearing a piece of fish. The sight of food maddened him. Okay, he cried with hunger. Mother seagull picked up a piece of fish and flew across to him. Do you think that this piece will be given to the young seagull by the mother right away? Will she give that piece of fish immediately to the son? No, she doesn't give that piece of fish. When she reached just near her son, she became motionless in the air and did not get down on the ledge. The young seagull dived at the fish. Because he was maddened with hunger, okay, in his mother's beak, he dived for the fish and he fell. Seagull lost his balance. He fell down from the rock into space. Now he was in the open air and saw the white sea beneath him. He became much frightened by the next moment. His wings spread outwards, flapped his wings again and again and started to fly. His family joined him on his first flight. Now he was floating on water. He knew he would not sink. He was no longer afraid. So this was the story in a nutshell. Extract based question. The young seagull felt dizzy because. Your turn to speak. Type in the chat box quickly. Now, the young seagull felt dizzy because, why? Come on, reply fast. Typing should be fast. Just hold your keyboard and immediately type the answers. You should be very active because you have to maintain speed in the English exam, you know, because it will be lengthy. Okay, so you have already answered. Yeah, because he was hungry for the entire day. Very good. Priyanshu has given the first correct answer. Yes. Vishal, no, he did not catch the fish, but he dived. Okay, because he wanted to catch the fish. That's what was the trigger, you can say. The fish was a trigger. So he hadn't eaten anything for a day. This is how you have to fill the gap. This is important. The extract refers to many movements of the young seagull's brothers and sister. Choose the option that correctly sequences these movements. Which of the options? A, B, C or D? You see here, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. According to this, you have to choose the movements. Okay, so which one will be the first movement related to curveting? Which movement? A, B, C or D? Answer will be this one, where you have darting movement first. Quick movement. Darting movement means quick movement. And then tilted their wings, rose high and plunged. Dive. Dive here refers to plunge. Are you able to connect the extract with the options here? No, Priyanshu, that is not the mother sea scraping her beak on the rock or the fish. On the rock, Priyanshu, it was on the rock. That would only make it sharpened, you know, so that the bird can tear the fish. This is how they scrape their beak to sharpen it, okay, because of on the rock, not the fish. Okay, Priyanshu, I hope this question is clear, everybody. Curveting, taking small movements, Vishal. Quick, small movements. That's curveting. You know, here and there. Just like goose walk. That is curveting. Then banking, soaring and diving. What does the given line imply? He completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly. So, it had been 24 hours since the young seagull had eaten. He flapped his wings and made a loud sound when he realized that his parents and siblings had already flown on the ledge. He completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly because it was the naturalness of the act of flying for the young seagull. Naturalness of flight. Okay, inherent traits. Right? So, it was very natural for him to fly. Later on, he did not even remember that he was not able to fly. This is how you answer. Imply means the meaning. What does it refer to? Yes, you can get the PDF. One link has been shared with you, a jot form. You will fill that form, you get the PDF of this. In the morning also, we shared the PDF with you, but only you will get it after filling the jot form which is provided to you in the comment section. Next. Which of the following mirrors the use of literary device in shrieking, shrilly, sh sound? Two consonant sounds are repeated. So, which option resembles shrieking, shrilly? Can you tell quickly? Is it sparkling sage, singing soft, slippery, sloppily, sneeze silently? It's a good question. Answer it quickly. SL. Slippery, sloppily. This will be the answer. Short answer. How did Seagull express his excitement when he saw his mother bringing food for him? He was very hungry. When he saw his mother, he was greatly excited. He expressed his excitement by uttering a joyful scream. Remember, ga, 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 gakola. This was the term that was used, bird's language. That was used, and that was uttering a joyful scream. This is how he showed excitement. Now, Mandela, very important. Please pay attention. Please, please, please. Have a look at this question. Comparison between two characters. Okay. First is Mandela. Mentions that every man has twin obligations. The first is to his family, parents and wife and children. The second is to the people, his community and his country. How is the first obligation well performed by the mother seagull? In the story, the first flight. This obligation for the family. कैसे वो ममा सीगल जो है अपनी फैमिली ऑब्लिगेशन को पूरा करती है, उस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को पूरा करती है अपने बच्चे को सेल्फ डिपेंडेंट बना के. एवरी पेरेंट ट्राइज दिस कि हमारे बच्चे सेल्फ डिपेंडेंट हो. ठीक है, वो कैसे किया उन्होंने? डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन एवरीबडी? अद्विक, नीलम, ध्रुविता, अरबेला, गौरी, कृष्णा, प्रिया, प्रियांशु, श्रद्धा. Did you understand the question? Okay, answer is this. Okay, yes, the mother seagull aroused his interest and flew towards him with a piece of fish in her beak. That was a trick. Okay, the young seagull dived at the fish due to hunger and within a few moments he felt his wings spread outwards. आपने लिख दिया evidence. Next, thus he started flying for the first time provided that he pretended to be standing on the brink of the ledge with his eyes closed, on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing. पहले वो कैसा था, बाद में कैसा हुआ? She reached close to him, halted just in front of him. The sight of food made him mad. He dived to catch the food and fell down. In this way, he struggled and learned to fly. Conclusion: this was the first obligation the mother seagull had done to her child, which was well performed. Okay, so which mother's actions are more appropriate? Is it Amanda's mother or Seagull's mother? To make the child understand what is right and what is wrong, in your opinion, can you tell? Which mother's actions are more appropriate? Is it Amanda's mother or Seagull's mother? That can be asked. Okay. Now, the black aeroplane. Pranav, dual kind of brings a negative connotation. I mean Priyanshu. It kinds of bring it a negative connotation, so you avoid dual. Okay, just use twin or two. You can also use two, but dual somehow gives that negative connotation, so avoid it. Okay, so yes, you all agree with that mother seagull was more, efficient in taking care of the child and making him self-dependent. Okay. Krishna, right now I asked you about Amanda's mother, beta. वो obligation तो मंडेला से related था, first obligation for family, but ऐसे ही मैंने question पूछ लिया कि दोनों की mothers को अगर हम compare करें तो कौन सी mother ने efficiently अपने बच्चे को समझाया? तो आप सबने कहा seagull की mother ने. This is how I asked. I framed another question within that question. Okay, Krishna, Pandey? Okay, Priyanshu, maybe some other child. Okay, because the screen has continuously some of the other chat, so maybe I got confused. Chalo, don't mind it. Now, the black aeroplane. Look at this flow chart. Black aeroplane, बहुत interesting chapter है. Mysterious. Okay, and narration by pilot flying from France to England in old Dakota aeroplane. Dakota aeroplane, remember this. कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहे थे? France to England. France to England. Yes, Priya. Amanda's mother always nags her. Seagull mother gives her son. Yeah. That's great, Priya. So अभी इसको इस पे आ जाओ. Black aeroplane पे. Eager to spend holidays with family and have English breakfast. हम इंडियंस को भी ज़्यादातर जब हम फॉरेन कंट्री जाते हैं तो थेपला, ब्रेड, भुजिया सब लेकर जाते हैं, अचार, चटनी, So English people also miss their own breakfast. उसको breakfast खाना था, English breakfast, After flying 150 kilometers ahead of Paris, he saw dense black clouds, takes an irrational decision, basically calculated risk, and flew his aeroplane into clouds. Compass and radio stopped working, suddenly saw an aeroplane with no lights, on its wings. Pilot of another aeroplane guided him to a runway, landed safely but unable to locate another plane and pilot. Woman at control room informed only his plane was there in the sky. This is the flow chart of the black aeroplane. Did you understand, everybody? Yes, Renu. It was. What is the significance of not a single cloud in the sky? The weather was clear. The sky was very clear. Perfect weather to fly the plane. What was the pilot flying? Dakota aeroplane. That means the one which doesn't carry the passengers, the one which carries only goods. Okay, that's Dakota aeroplane. Next, how did the pilot feel after calling the Paris control the first time? This is important. When he called the first time. Okay, so when the pilot called the Paris control the first time, he was happy that he would reach England on time for a big English breakfast. He thought that everything was going well and it was an easy flight. That's what he thought. The moon was coming up. State true or false. Now, none of the following descriptions A to D correctly corresponds to the extract. Look at the trick used here. Is this a debate? In this extract, do you find any debate? So can we say none of the following descriptions correctly correspond? This is not a debate. Is it a description? A description is a pattern of narrative development that aims to make vivid a place, object, character or group. Yes, this is a description. So B is correct. And aside, when you whisper something in others' ears, side mein jaake, that is aside. तो aside नहीं है. Abstract, which shows a short summary or outline or a longer work, that is also not correct. लेकिन एक तो सही है according to the extract. तो ये statement क्या हो जाएगी? False. False हो जाएगी. कि none of the following descriptions correctly correspond. एक तो करता है ना, तो ये statement क्या हो जाएगी? False हो जाएगी. Did you understand this question, everybody? This type of question? थोड़ा सा घुमा दिया बस, कुछ नहीं है, बस आपको ये ढंग से पढ़ना है, ये वाला statement, ये यहाँ से यहाँ, ठीक है? Confuse नहीं होना है. Next, what made the speaker term it as an easy flight? Did his predictions come true? Because everything was going well. Sky was clear, weather was fine, there wasn't any hindrance in his flight. No, his prediction did not come true. The message conveyed in the chapter A Letter to God deals with unflinching faith in one and all. Lencho has faltering faith that leads to anger and discontentment. क्या लेंचो जैसा ही फेथ था इस पायलट का? डकोटा एरोप्लेन जो फ्लाई कर रहा था, क्या उसका फेथ लेंचो के फेथ जितना ही अनफ्लिंचिंग था या फिर नहीं? ये क्वेश्चन है. The pilot of the black aeroplane had undeniable faith in that unknown pilot and he is saved from the crisis. If you had to use the message with reference to both the chapters, how will you elaborate it? Also, how it is relevant to both? Krishna, it was the confidence of the pilot that helped him navigate the black clouds. So it was not real though, but it was his positive fantasy, his positive imagination, his confidence that helped him navigating the black clouds and reach the runway. ठीक है, इस तरीके से आपको आंसर करना है, प्रैक्टिकल आंसर करना है कृष्णा. Did you understand? So faith has to be unflinching, childlike. एक बच्चे का जो faith होता है ना, blind faith. बच्चे को पता है कि मेरी मम्मा मेरे को गिरने नहीं देगी, कुछ भी हो जाए. Blind faith, not with terms and conditions. Lencho's faith came with a rider. If his wish gets fulfilled, then he is satisfied. If not, he stands up to blame one or the other person. ठीक है? No doubt he does not blame God, but then he doesn't believe others. For him, the world is an evil place. On the other hand, the pilot believes, the pilot of the black aeroplane, with complete conviction. Complete conviction. Okay? He believed in goodness of this world and finds no reason to distrust the pilot, though he's told that there was no other person, no other plane other than his, but also that does not deter his faith in human goodness. Truth and faith do not come as per convenience. Either you believe in someone or you do not. There is no midway. There is no midway. Do you understand everybody? आप यहाँ इस सेशन में बैठे हो, कहीं ना कहीं आपको फेथ है कि मैम जो भी बताएंगे वो हमारे सिलेबस से पूरा रिलेट करेगा, जो भी बताएंगे वो सही होगा, ठीक है? तो उस फेथ के साथ ही बैठे, अदरवाइज ना बैठे. So there is no midway. Did you understand? So the pilot of black aeroplane has that unflinching faith that saved his life. Okay, next is Diary of Anne Frank. Are you ready, everybody? You can tell me when to start Diary of Anne Frank. Okay, so that was about 2 stories of flying. First was his first flight, second was the black aeroplane. Next is Diary of Anne Frank. Remember Anne Frank, concentration camp, Nazism, Hitler. Remember Jews, how Hitler killed many Jews. He committed mass killing, genocide. Pranita, ऐसे तो लेंचो भी was stuck ना. He also was suffering from this problem only, that he did not have anything to survive. Same was the case of pilot of Dakota plane, Pranita, isn't it? Yeah, so Renu is asking about Holocaust. Yeah, Holocaust also, exactly. So let's start Diary of Anne Frank. Anne Frank, the characteristics. Character is important, of course. Chatterbox, she is, speaks a lot, spirited and lively, vivacious personality she has, kind and caring, feels alone, died of typhus in the concentration camp. Okay, now Mr. Keesing, old, foggy, narrow-minded person, Anne's mathematics teacher, annoyed with Anne because of her talking traits. This is Mr. Keesing, maths teacher. Margot Frank, Anne's elder sister, she's pretty, smart, emotional and everyone's favorite. That's Margot Frank. Otto Frank, Anne's father, kindest, smartest, most gentle. He was the one who had given a diary to Anne Frank, the only survivor of the group. He was the only survivor of the group. Everybody died. Yes, Priya. Okay, now this is an autobiography of a young girl, Anne Frank, who expresses her thoughts in a diary. Anne Frank is a Jewish girl who is hiding during World War II in order to avoid the Nazis. She was gifted a diary on her 13th birthday. She named it Kitty and made it her best friend in her loneliness. She wrote every problem and happenings in her diary. She was very close to grandma. After her death, she felt very much alone. They lived in hiding for many years to survive. She was lovable of every teacher except one, Mr. Keesing, who taught maths. He remained annoyed with Anne because of her talkative nature. ये सारी summary है chapter की, and he had given her some extra work to write an essay on a chatterbox. Then, talking is a student's trait and I would do my best to control it, but I won't be able to cure this habit since my mother is also talkative. You know, talking so much was an inherited trait and you can't change it. Then the teacher gave her another essay, an incorrigible chatterbox, the one who cannot be changed, stubborn. No, Tanishq. It is mentioned that it was her father. Okay, Tanishq? No, Vishal. Margot did not survive, beta. Margot also died even before Anne Frank. Shraddha, he is old. That's why he's very traditional kind of a person, Mr. Keesing. Narrow-minded, old, foggy. After that, Anne was allowed. अच्छा, उसके बाद भी एक और ऐसे दिया था. Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. But that essay transformed Mr. Keesing and he allowed her to talk and relieved her from any extra homework. After that, Anne was allowed to talk and no extra work was given. Since then, Mr. Keesing too started making jokes. Transformation in the teacher. Mr. Keesing. Okay. First question. What does the following imply? CN and Jack's staking their entire holiday savings on their bet. क्या मतलब है, किस बात की शर्तें लगाई जा रही थी क्लास में? CN and Jack taking their entire holiday savings on their bet implies that they both think that the other one will pass. Who will pass, who will not pass, ये शर्तें लगाई जा रही थी, ठीक है. उन्होंने अपनी सेविंग्स भी लगा दी उस शर्त पे. Anne says that there were so many dummies in the class that about a quarter of them shouldn't be promoted. Is she being rude or brutally honest? Is she being brutally honest or rude? Anne is being brutally honest. Many students in the class doubted if they would be promoted to the next class. They remained anxious and would discuss this all day. They would make bets on who would be promoted. CN and Jack had even staked their entire holiday saving on the bet. So she was being brutally honest. Did you understand? So, the state true or false. None of the following options showcase the reality. Okay, Tanishq, I will also cross-check and will get back to you. But for the time being, this much we know as per the text. So, don't you worry. What is not in the text, that will not be asked in the exam. Okay, Tanishq? Now, state true or false. None of the following options showcase the reality. The teachers will decide whom to promote to the next form. Good question. Please pay attention. The teacher will decide who should be kept back. A quarter of the class was dummies who should be kept back. A quarter of the class was intelligent who should be promoted. तो exactly कौन सा आंसर सही होगा as per this? Teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Answer will be this. This is false. None of the following options showcase the reality. None of the following options showcase the reality. Option A, it does. Okay? Teachers will decide whom to promote to the next form. So this statement becomes false. Did you understand this type of question? थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा समझने में एग्जाम में. टाइम होना चाहिए आपके पास. प्लीज मैनेज योर टाइम. रीडिंग, राइटिंग, ग्रामर, लिटरेचर. Okay, next. Which emotion is portrayed in the expression quaking in their boots? Fear or nervousness? Fear or nervousness? ठीक है. Give reasons for Anne wanting to keep a diary. क्या reasons थे? पहला तो she was lonely. Even when she was surrounded by her friends and loved ones, only person needed the most in her life was true friend. Anne says that she did not feel closer to her existing friends, so she did not confide in them. She did not trust them. A diary, on the other hand, would be ideal because Anne would easily express what's on her mind and in her heart. Paper has more patience than people. That's what she said. Unlike others, a diary wouldn't judge her or be dismissive of her. Diary doesn't judge you. People judge you. कोई कितना भी कह ले, नहीं, I don't judge you, but people judge you. But diary doesn't. Did you understand, everybody? So, a teacher can influence a student's character to grow and evolve in every way. Explain it with reference to Bholi. You remember Bholi? Do you remember Bholi? And the Diary of Anne Frank? Do you remember? If you had to use the message with reference to both the chapter Bholi and Diary of Anne Frank, how will you elaborate it? Also, how it is relevant to both. Comparison देखो कहाँ से कहाँ हो गया. ठीक है. So undoubtedly teacher has an unending influence on students. Bholi's teacher transformed her life forever. She was a meek, coward girl who could not speak a word without a stammer, and she could not even stand against injustice for herself. Similar was the incident that happened with Anne in her class. She was a talkative girl and was punished by her teacher for chattering continuously. बार बार बातें करने की वजह से उसको punishment मिल रही थी. Her teacher's punishment taught her how to prove herself and stand for her cause. She earned the capability to convince the teacher, and finally teacher also agreed with her point of view. In one way or the other, the teacher teaches the student to stand up with conviction. They can give you RN because this is in your syllabus only. Not necessary RN, they can ask you, beta. Okay, so you should know everything in your syllabus so that you can furnish the answer. These are not direct questions that they are asking these days, you know that, right? So be prepared. Now, glimpses of India. Are you ready for glimpses of India? First is a baker from Goa. A baker from Goa. If you remember the chapter, it will not be difficult. You will get 6 in board exams, Priyanshu or Pranay Shah. Okay, so don't worry. In board exams, you will get full if you present your answers just the way you have been presenting. Okay, because teacher is preparing you for that kind of day so that you can get full on full. You keep presenting the answer the same way. So, a baker from Goa. Are we ready? Yes. So, baker and bakery products are immensely important in culture of Goa since Portuguese days. Portuguese days से ही बहुत famous है bread. Bakers are known as padeiro. Okay. Bakers used to wander in street and to sell bread loaves and bread bangles. They used to carry a huge basket and a bamboo stick. The baker came with jang jang sound of his bamboo staff. Staff means stick. They used to wear specific clothes known as kabai during Portuguese days. This is kabai. Every village of Goa still has a furnace. ये जो भट्टी है, this is furnace. And no festival or marriage ceremony is completed without some or the other bakery products because of huge consumption of bakery good. Baking is still a profitable business. Of course, you can, Aditi. 75 क्या 80 में से 80 भी आ सकता है. What does the fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished? It implies that they had proven the test of time. इतने पुराने होने के बावजूद भी अभी भी यूज हो रहे हैं ये furnaces. They were working well. The narrator says that the furnaces were time tested because they were working well. I think ये repeat हुआ. Now why do you think the baker came in with the thud and jingle? Thud and jingle. Onomatopoeic words. Okay, the baker would come twice a day. Once early in the morning and the second time when he returned after selling his stuff. He wanted to make people aware that he had come around to sell his goodies. That's why he would come in with a thud and a jingle to make his announcement. Announcement of his arrival. That's why he used to use thud and jingle sound. Pick the idiom that brings out the same meaning of reminiscing as used in the passage. Is it train of thought? Is it commit something to memory? Trip down memory lane? Jog somebody's memory. So what is reminiscing here? REMINISCING. What does that mean? It means trip down memory lane. पुरानी बातों को, पुरानी memories को फिर से ताज़ा कर देना. ठीक है? That is reminiscing. Reminiscences also you must have heard. That's a noun form. This is a verb form. So trip down to memory lane. पुरानी बातों को याद करना. श्रद्धा, that is. ठीक है? Why according to author did the baker and his family never starve? Why? Because it is a profitable profession. Bread used to be and still it is an integral part of every Goan tradition and festival. Therefore, the fire in the baker's furnace never extinguished. As a result, the baker and his family never had to face a situation where they had to starve. Okay, instead the baker, his family and even the servants looked happy and prosperous. Do you remember कौन से fruit से compare किया गया है baker की personality को, उसकी fat belly को? Remember कौन सा fruit है जिससे बेकर की बेली को कंपेयर किया है? रिमेंबर, कौन बताएगा? केरला से है क्या कोई? द फ्रूट विच इज फाउंड इन केरला इन अबंडेंस. जैकफ्रूट. You forgot. Yes. Yes, Vishal, Ridhima and Tanishq. Yes, Aryan. It is a jackfruit. Okay. The custom of baking bread is closely associated with Goan culture. Explain with reference to baker from Goa. ये तो बहुत easy है. अच्छा, ये यहाँ पे कुछ details हैं जो आपको याद करनी पड़ेगी. Cakes and bolinas. Marriage gifts are meaningless without sweet bread known as bol. So it is an essential part of a festival, you know. And daughter's engagement पे वो sandwiches बनाना, cakes और bolinas Christmas पे बनाना, ये सब important है गोवा में. The presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. Loaves of bread are very popular in Goa and is a staple food even in remote villages. The bread has health benefits. There are still a few small bakeries left in some of the smaller towns. Coconut is of course there, but jackfruit is also, you know, Priyanshu, I have seen. Okay, so cakes and bolinas in Christmas party, daughter's engagement पे sandwiches और parties में bowl. ये याद रखना है, ठीक है? Next, Coorg. Are you ready for Coorg? Let's journey together to Coorg, my favorite place, and I really want to visit this place because this is immensely beautiful, very beautiful. Coorg. चलिए start करते हैं. The land of rolling hills. Rolling hills. The smallest district of Karnataka, home of evergreen forests, spices and coffee, also known as Kodagu. Okay, fiercely independent people, possibly of Greek or Arabic origin, part of Alexander's army, stayed back and married local women. Present race is a mixture, blend of both the cultures. Wear long black coats, embroidered waist belts. This is the belt, embroidered waist belt. Okay. Values. What are the values that we see in the people of Coorg? Known for their hospitality, proper use of natural resources, feeling of pride in one's descendants, harmonious society. Okay. Coorg regiment, the most decorated in the Indian army. General Kariyappa, the first chief. Brave warriors permitted to keep firearms without a license. Yes, beautiful place drifted from God's own land. Exactly, from the heaven itself. Yes, Samira, Kupia is another name. September to March is the best time to visit this because there is pleasant season, nature and weather is beautiful. River Kaveri gets water from the hills of Coorg. Which river? Kaveri. Fish Mahasir abounds in this water. Langurs drop partially eaten fruit in water. Kingfishers dive in it. Elephants are bathed in it. So this is water life of Coorg. Panoramic view of Brahmagiri Hills, island of Nisargdham, Buddhist settlement at Bailakupe. ठीक है? Okay. The adjective phrase that describes the people of Coorg is what? Religious rites, impractical, fiercely independent, Hindu mainstream. कैसे describe करोगे बताओ? The people of Coorg. Answer, answer, fast. Absolutely correct. Wonderful, everybody. Based on inference from the extract, which of these is not true about the origin of the people of Coorg? People of Coorg are possibly the descendants of Greek. The traditions and culture of Coorgi people is similar to Hindu mainstream. As per the tale, a part of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled in and around Coorg when return became impractical, which is not true. कौन सा आंसर सही होगा? Options 1 and 2, option 2 and 3, option 2 only, option 1 only. Say fast. Type in the comment section, please. Yeah, that is option number 3. That is option number 2, this one. Okay, it's not similar to Hindu mainstream. It's different. ठीक है? Next, the word that means the same as origin. Origin is what? The word that means the same as origin. Vishal, because still in Goa these furnaces are present. For that you will have to go and check in Goa whether the furnaces are still available or not. Then only you will understand that they are not extinguished, right, Vishal? Answer will be descent. Very good, Vishal. Correct. Next, in which ways are culture of local distinct from Hindu mainstream? क्या अलग है? These people married amongst the locals and their culture is apparent in the martial traditions, marriage and religious rites, which are completely different from Hindu mainstream. जैसे उनका attire, वो अरब से काफ़ी मैच करता है, ठीक है? Okay, how has the Kurgi tradition of courage and bravery recognized in modern India? By awarding the Kurg regiment with the greatest number of gallantry awards. Besides, Kodavus are the only people in India allowed to carry firearms without a license. ठीक है? The people of Kurg are famous for their tradition of hospitality and valor. Kurg is situated midway between Mysore and coastal town of Mangalore. It is smallest district of the state Karnataka. It is a piece of heaven fallen from kingdom of God. We can find hills full of greenery here. It has evergreen rainforests, spices and coffee plantations. ये detail आपको याद होनी चाहिए to attempt long answer type. Okay. It rains heavily here. During the rainy season, there is a smell of coffee in the air. The people of Kurg are martial men, warriors. These people are of Greek or Arabic descent. According to a legend, a part of Alexander's army stopped and settled here. They married among the locals. The culture is seen in the, ये पूरा repetitive है, ये हम कर चुके हैं पहले, ठीक है? These people wear a long black coat with an embroidered waist belt. This is known as kufiya and it resembles the kufiya that is worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. They love traditions of hospitality and this quality makes them unique. Yes, yes. Not in points but in paragraphs, Samira. In paragraphs, not in points. This is not social science. This is English. You can change the paragraphs. ठीक है? Tea from Assam. Are you ready to have a cup of tea from Assam? I badly want a cup of coffee or tea right now. But it's okay. We'll take a break after tea from Assam. After tea from Assam. So first I will finish tea from Assam and then we'll take 5 minutes break. You can have water, have whatever you want. And then two friends, Pranjal and Rajveer, are set to go to Assam. Pranjal's hometown. Pranjal starts reading the detective book while Rajveer decides to enjoy the scenic beauty. Okay, on their journey they buy 2 cups of tea, 2 chai, joining almost every other person in their compartment. सब चाय पी रहे हैं ट्रेन में. Rajveer is very excited on seeing large plantations of tea. Assam, famously known as tea country. Visiting there for the first time, Rajveer did a lot of study about tea. Okay, Aryan. It was first consumed in China, then reached Europe in the 16th century. There are numerous stories as to how it was discovered. One is about Chinese emperor who liked the taste of it, and the other about a Buddhist monk through whose eyelids 10 plants of trees were grown. 2 legends. Bodhidharma and Chinese emperor. हाँ, break इसके बाद स्वयं इस chapter के बाद. Preeti, I was searching for you in the beginning of this session also. I know you had asked me the question between fire and ice. It will be antithesis beta. Preeti, I remember the session got over, that's why I could not reply to you in that session in the morning. Okay, Preeti, it will be antithesis. Fire and ice too, they both are contradictory words. They are not ideas, they are contradictory words, antonyms. So it will be antithesis, not oxymoron. Oxymoron has opposite ideas. Just a quiet rage. Did you understand, Preeti? Please tell me. It was first consumed in China and reached Europe. ये हो गया था अपना. Pranjal's parents had come to receive them at Mariani Junction. Important है. कहाँ लेने आए थे? Take them to their tea garden. Rajveer indeed did a lot of study before coming, which impressed Pranjal's father, and he intended to learn a lot more. Okay, Kushagra, that's great. Good to see you in this session also. चलिए, question कहाँ गया? पहले वाला? हाँ, ये रहा question. ये question है. इतना लंबा question है. ध्यान से देखो. ठीक है? Vishal, can you write the word again? I think you have committed a spelling mistake. You can ask me again. Preeti, is it clear, beta? That is antithesis. Fire and ice. Okay, so pick the option that includes the tea label information that corresponds to the given sentence. The leaves of these plants, when put in hot water and drunk, banished sleep. Okay, and so what has been referring to this particular banishing sleep characteristic of tea? कौन सा वाला? फर्स्ट, सेकेंड, थर्ड और फोर्थ? स्लीपलेसनेस दिख रहा है आपको? There, but firstly, Preeti, they are the opposite words before you talk about the ideas. First, they are the words. So first, if they are contradictory each other, literally if they are contradicting each other literally, it will be antithesis. So there is a slight difference between antithesis and oxymoron. Okay, Preeti? Antithesis means when two antonyms are used together, like bitter joy. So it alleviates anxious thoughts, ye nahi hoga? Anxious thoughts and soothes the spirit? No. It will be sleeplessness. Third option. Yes. This is the one. Based on inference from the extract, which of these is not true about tea drinking in the 16th century Europe? Dr. Smith is a doctor of 16th century Europe. तो Dr. Smith क्या रेफर करेंगे? क्या वो ये कहेंगे कि है ना tea लो because green tea whenever available to reduce chances of tooth loss? वो यूरोप में है, 16th century यूरोप में है. या वो ये कहेंगे prescribed regular tea drinking to all his patients with a weak heart? या फिर वो ये कहेंगे कि take it as a refreshment as they all enjoy this beverage. Dr. Smith usually recommends black tea to reduce inflammation in the body. So which is not true? Because it was drunk more as a medicine than as a beverage in the 16th century Europe. Yeah, answer will be this one. Okay, because it was considered as a medicine than as a beverage. So C. Did you understand? Next, in the light of the last line in the above extract, how can you differentiate between medicine and a beverage? When and where was tea drunk as beverage? Medicine is used for treating diseases, whereas beverage is used for drinking purpose. Tea was drunk first in China. Tea came to Europe only in the 16th century and was drunk more as medicine than as a beverage. This is how you write. Arabella, it is just that time it was considered as a medicine in 16th century Europe. Okay? Now, why do you think Pranjal scoffed? Because he was amused and tickled at what Rajveer shared. उसको हंसी आ रही थी राजवीर की बातें सुन के. That's why he scoffed. What is the Chinese legend associated with the discovery of tea? Chinese emperor who accidentally dropped a few leaves from the twigs used to light the fire under the pot in which he was boiling his drinking water. It made the water taste delicious. Those leaves were said to be tea leaves. Pranjal was born and brought up on a tea estate in Assam, but Rajveer, who knew much about tea leaves and legends associated with tea. Base your answer on their visit to Dhekiabari tea estate in Assam. His friend Rajveer's knowledge about tea and its history was more profound than him. The reason was simple. Rajveer had done a lot of reading about tea and its history. Okay, he even surprised Pranjal's father with his in-depth knowledge of subject. Rajveer's visit to Dhekiabari was an opportunity for him to connect his reading and knowledge to the real existing tea plantation. He was fascinated by the magnificent sea of tea bushes stretching as far as his eyes could go. He saw with his own eyes a group of tea pluckers with bamboo baskets on their backs, plucking the newly sprouted leaves. He studied, helped him to recognize that the trailer load of tea leaves were the second flush or the sprouting period that gave the best tea. So all the details which Rajveer had collected, that you will have to mention. मिलते हैं ब्रेक के बाद. Welcome back. Are we ready for the next chapter, that is Mijbil the otter? So very cute pet otter is kept by this narrator of the story, and we find out how cutely he behaves. Everybody is mesmerized by the appearance of this cute otter. Gavin Maxwell was traveling to southern Iraq when he decided to get an otter for a pet. His friend advised him to get an otter from Tigris marshes. Otters were abundant there. जैसे मच्छर होते हैं कीचड़ के आसपास, वैसे ही otters होते हैं वहाँ पे, इतने सारे, abundant there, and they had been tamed by the Arabs. A few days later, he found 2 Arabs at the consulate bearing an otter and a note from his friend. उसके फ्रेंड ने गिफ्ट कर दिया ऑटर. द ऑटर लुक्ड लाइक अ स्मॉल ड्रैगन एंड वाज कवर्ड विद पॉइंटेड स्केल्स, वेलवेट फर एंड मड. मिजबिल वाज अलूफ एंड इनडिफरेंट एट फर्स्ट. शुरू में हर पेट स्ट्रेंज फील करता है. वन नाइट हाउएवर ही क्रॉल्ड इनटू बेड विद मैक्सवेल एंड स्लेप्ट ऑन हिज नीज. पर धीरे धीरे वो बहुत ज़्यादा फ्रेंडली हो जाता है मैक्सवेल के साथ. विद फॉन्डनेस मैक्सवेल रिमेंबर्स मिजबिल्स डिलाइट व्हेन ही डिस्कवर्ड द बाथ. He liked water very much. Mijbil splashed around the water happily. पानी को फैलाना, splash करना बहुत पसंद था इसे. And his favorite pastime was to play. He would spend hours playing with a rubber ball or rolling marbles down his belly while lying flat on his back. Though Maxwell and Mijbil spent their time peacefully in Basra, Maxwell was worried about transporting Mijbil back to England. कैसे लेके जाऊंगा मैं इसको England? In accordance with the airplane guidelines, Mijbil was to be packed in an 18-inch square box and left so that Mijbil would become accustomed to the space. After Maxwell found his seat on the plane, he talked to the air hostess about Mijbil. The air hostess kindly asked if he would like to keep his pet with him. He was feeling grateful, very happy, because the air hostess was willing to help. Maxwell penned the box in a flash. Mijbil jumped out of the box and sped down the aircraft. निकल के भागा वहाँ से बॉक्स में से, because he was not able to live in that box, you know. There were shrieks and crashes as passengers panicked at the sight of Mijbil. The air hostess asked Maxwell to take his seat while she looked for Mijbil. Soon after, Mijbil came running to him. Identify कर लिया उसने अपने मास्टर को. They stayed in London for a month. There Mijbil invented his own game with a ping pong ball. The narrator also took him on walks on a lead. Mijbil developed some compulsive habits during these walks, such as tugging the narrator to a wall and jumping on it. Some Londoners believed that Mijbil resembled a baby seal or a squirrel, while others thought he was a walrus. Still, others believed that he was a hippo or a beaver or a bear cub. लेकिन कोई नहीं गेस कर पाता था कि ये एक otter है. Okay, Vishal, penned here refers to craft a box as per the need. ठीक है बेटा, Vishal? Now, question, choose the speaker that uses the phrase appalling spectacle. Appalling, which is, you can't see something because it is appalling. So, which is the speaker that speaks about appalling spectacle? We got back home to see that our pet dog had eaten kheer my mother had kept out of the fridge. Indeed, an appalling spectacle. या फिर we got back home and witnessed that our cousin had dressed our pet dog in his t-shirt. Have to admit that it was an appalling spectacle. We got back home to see that our pet dog sitting with a mangled rat. It was an appalling spectacle. We got back home from the airport and observed our pet dog sound asleep on the rug. What an appalling spectacle. Which speaker uses this phrase correctly? Who will tell me? Yeah, it is speaker 3, because mangled rat. चूहा मरा हुआ था ना वहाँ पे, ठीक है, तो वो उनको वो देख नहीं पाए, because that was an appalling spectacle. The scene which you can't see, that is appalling spectacle. Did you understand this question, everybody? This is important. Yes, Subarna. This is speaker 3, because they saw mangled rat. Appalling means which you can't see, which is, which is not good to see. something bad occurs. That is why you're calling it appalling, not welcoming to the eye. Clear? Next, choose the option that correctly states Maxwell's likely feelings in the situation below. I put the miserable Midge back into the box, holding down the lid with my hand. Is he anxious? Is he disappointed? Is he terrified? Is he guilty or insulted? What is the feeling? Is it anxious, disappointed, terrified, guilty or insulted? Two feelings are there, 1 and 4. Anxious, he was worried of course, and guilty because he had to keep Midge in the box which he did not like. That's why guilty. Did you understand, everybody? Okay, next, what happened when Maxwell returned after having a quick meal? Answer in about 40 words. Maxwell was shocked when he returned after having a hurried meal. He saw a horrifying spectacle. Remember, appalling spectacle, horrifying spectacle. There was a complete silence from the box and he found that blood had trickled, dried from the air holes and chinks around the lid of the box. Okay, that was appalling. What compulsive habits had Mitchell developed? Okay, this we had read in the summary also. Like children on their way to school, Mitchell would place his feet squarely on the center of each pair of block or touch the iron railing or lamp post. Especially while coming back home, Mitchell would tug his owner to the wall of a primary school, jump onto it and gallop the full length of its 30 yards to attract the attention of the children in the school. These compulsive habits he talks about. Why do you think the author was not friendly at first with the narrator? Can you relate this to human nature as well? Of course. We can't be friendly immediately, right? So at first he was not friendly. He was brought to a new place and new surroundings. He neither knew the narrator nor the place, which made him stay away from the narrator. But as soon as he started becoming comfortable with the surroundings, he became friendly, amiable and came close to the narrator. This is very similar to human nature. Even the human beings first take time to understand others, and then only become friendly with them. Unless they are comfortable in being with somebody, they try to stay away from that person. Mitchell also did the same. That's all about Mitchell the author. Are you ready for Madam rides the bus? Ready? जल्दी से खत्म करेंगे. Madam rides the bus. Wants to travel in bus. Used to stare at people traveling by bus. Developed a strong desire. Gets jealous if anyone shares about bus journey. Details about bus journey. Observed and questioned regular travelers. Calculated minute details and saved money. Takes the bus secretly. Took the bus on a spring afternoon, got attracted to the outside view, which was very beautiful, the canal, the palm trees, grassland, distant mountains and the blue sky. A cow running towards the bus made her laugh and clap. Meets co-passengers, an elderly man addressed her as a child. Valli corrected him. There were no children in the bus. An elderly woman told Valli not to travel alone, this elderly woman. Valli retorted that she could travel alone. Reaches the town on seeing the bright shops and big crowd, stayed in the bus. She did not get down the bus. Okay, she did not get off. So return journey, saw the same wonderful sights, wasn't bored and greeted everything with the same excitement. Saw the same cow lying dead by the roadside. Change, transformation in the mindset of Valli. Thought of the dead cow. Death and impermanence of life. Remember epistemology of loss, the ball poem in poetry section we discussed in the morning, the ball poem. Yes, Pranav, that's correct. The desire to explore the world. First question, why did Valli keep on standing at the doorway? To watch the happenings on the street outside. Which word in the extract means the same as not very common? Unusual. Easy question. Okay. Next, how did Valli feel while standing at the doorway? It was her favorite pastime as it gave her new experiences and she felt joyous, happy. Okay, how was Valli different from children of her age? How was she different from the children of her age? As she was not interested in playing those elaborate games. She was not interested in playing elaborate games. Okay. Now, why does the conductor call Valli madam? Because it was just an 8-year-old girl. She behaved like a grown-up. Even if she was 8 years old. She demanded respect and wanted to be treated like an adult. Because she had paid her own bus fare like other adult present in the bus. The conductor, seeing Valli behave like that, treated her with respect even though he did it to humor her. उसके साथ मजाक करने के लिए उसने उसको मैडम मैडम करके चढ़ाया था, but she was really precocious child. In the lesson, Madam rides the bus, Valli learnt a lot from others. Describe the qualities of a character that enable her to take in information from others and interact with her surroundings. बहुत beautifully, बहुत maturely deal किया उसने लोगों के साथ बस में, वली ने. ठीक है, भले वो छोटी सी लड़की थी, 8-year-old girl. She liked gazing at the hustle and bustle of the street. Valli was curious about the bus ride. Okay, and she was able to ask questions, reply about to those questions, and also about their experience of the ride, so that she could gather information regarding the bus journey. अगर आपको कहा जाए कि चलो एक आइटनरी प्लान करो, आपके पेरेंट्स कहें कि चलो बेटा हम समर वेकेशन में हम कूर्ग जाएंगे या फिर दुबई जाएंगे, और आपको कहते हैं आइटनरी प्रिपेयर करो, उसके लिए डिटेल्स निकालोगे कि नहीं? आप उसकी रील्स देखोगे प्लेस से रिलेटेड, यू विल आस्क द पीपल who are travel agents, Valli also did the same. Okay. Vishal is asking me why in the last conductor asked the money again as she already gave money for trip. No, he did not ask for money. She had already paid him for return journey as well. Remember? The conductor was asking her to go and visit market. He did not ask for more money. Yes, Valli was an inquisitive child. On the bus, she acts confidently and behaved maturely. She tries to carry herself as an adult and refuses to take help from others. When the bus reached the town, she was observant and explored the town. Later, she learns about the death of a cow and gets sad. She handled it with maturity and accepted death as part of life. तो क्लास 10th के बच्चे से वली जैसा ही बिहेवियर एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है, मैच्योर. ओके, नेक्स्ट. Are you ready for sermon at Banaras now? सेकेंड लास्ट चैप्टर होगा शायद ये, sermon at बनारस के बाद होगा द प्रपोजल. चलिए करते हैं गौतम बुद्ध के बारे में जानते हैं. इन sermon at बनारस, he was born in a royal family as Siddharth Gautam. Yeah, maybe he was offering another ride to her, Vishal. Just for that sake, okay, because he was teasing her. ठीक है. Once he saw a funeral procession and monk begging for the alms, तो उनको जब realize हुआ कि इतने सारे sorrows क्यों हैं life में. Okay, these sights moved him a lot and he decided to become a monk and started moving in search of enlightenment. Search करने के लिए निकल पड़े कि इस दुनिया में दुख क्यों है. Why there are sorrows? Why there is death? निकल पड़े. ही स्टार्टेड मेडिटेशन अंडर अ पीपल ट्री के नीचे आके बैठ गए. 7 दिन के बाद उनको एनलाइटनमेंट मिला पीपल ट्री के नीचे, और वो ट्री को बुलाने लगे द बोधि ट्री. और पहला जो उन्होंने सर्मन दिया वो बनारस में दिया, जो आज भी अवेलेबल है, वहाँ पे प्रिस्क्राइब्ड है. आई मीन कुछ तो है, आई डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली बिकॉज आई हैवंट सीन दैट, बट वहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं छपा हुआ है वो जो सर्मन है उनकी जो सेइंग है, दैट इज़ देयर इन बनारस. तो कीसा गौतमी की स्टोरी है. वंस अ वुमन केम टू हिम रिक्वेस्टिंग टू ब्रिंग हर डेड सन टू लाइफ. स्टोरी विद इन स्टोरी. सर्मन एट बनारस के अंदर एक और स्टोरी है, कीसा गौतमी. गौतम बुद्ध आस्क्ड अ लेडी टू ब्रिंग हैंडफुल ऑफ मस्टर्ड सीड्स. ऐसे घर से सरसों के बीज लेकर आओ, मस्टर्ड सीड्स लेकर आओ जहाँ पे किसी की डेथ नहीं हुई हो. बट शी वॉज नॉट एबल टू फाइंड एनी हाउस जहाँ पे उसको सरसों के वो बीज मिल जाए जहाँ कोई डेथ नहीं हुई हो. सबके घर में कोई ना कोई किसी न किसी की डेथ हुई है. एंड देन गौतम बुद्ध टोल्ड हर that there can't be any person who hasn't experienced death. This is what is life, you have to accept death. What is the meaning of the word mortal here? Mortal means bound to die, just like humans. Okay? Then, as all earthen vessels made by the potter end in being broken, so is the life of mortals. What is the figure of speech used in this line? What is the figure of speech used in this line? That is metaphor. ठीक है, mortals को compare किया गया है vessels. Clear? There is metaphor. Read the following description and find out Buddha's views on life. When he says both young and adult, both those who are fools and those who are wise, all fall into power of death. All are subject to death. Answer will be philosophical. Philosophical. Okay? In which way the Buddha preached to the people? Buddha preached to the people. Okay, so Buddha said that death is common to all mortals. You cannot avoid it. No amount of weeping. कितना भी रो लो, कितना भी चिल्ला लो, कितना भी परेशान हो जाओ, लेकिन जो मर गया है वो वापस नहीं आ सकता. No weeping can bring back the dead. After reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. We all are subject to death. We all fall into the power of death. Yes, Vishal. Metaphor is comparison without using the words like or as. Okay. Why did Prince Siddharth Gautam leave the palace and become a beggar? Because he wanted to find out the reason behind the sufferings of the world. Okay, he came across sick man, aged man, funeral procession and monk begging for alms during his hunting expedition, and he lived a life of comfort unaware of the sufferings of the world. After he chanced upon those sufferings, Siddharth Gautam left his comfortable life at the palace and wandered off into the world seeking enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. जो sorrows उन्होंने देखे थे उनका reason find out करने निकल पड़े. Life is full of trials and tribulations. Kisa Gautami also passes through a period of grief in her life. How does she behave in those circumstances? What lesson does the reader learn from the story of her life? Give any 2 points. How you would like to act in the midst of adverse circumstances. Value based question. How to write? Like this. Kisa Gautami also passes through a period of grief in her life when her son, her only child, dies. Like any mother grieving the loss of her child, Kisa Gautami too goes mad with sorrow and carries her son's corpse, corpse means dead body, to her neighbors asking for medicine. This continues until someone takes pity on her and tells her to meet Sakyamani the Buddha. On meeting the Buddha and on being asked by him to bring a handful of mustard seeds from a house where the family has never lost a loved one, Kisa Gautami joyfully sets out in search of such a house. But soon she realizes that death and suffering is a common phenomenon and that she is being blind and selfish in her grief. The lesson to be learned from the story of Kisa Gautami's life is that peace of mind cannot be obtained by grieving and acting selfishly. I would overcome my sorrows and surrender all selfishness. I would accept the fact that human life is mortal and that all of us have to suffer equally. 3 marks, 4 lines. 6 marks, 12 to 15 lines. Vishal. Okay. Last chapter, it is a play, The Proposal. Remember Anton Chekhov? Russian playwright Stepan Chubukov is the father, a fluent landowner and a man of strong opinions, dominating and quarrelsome man, ladaku aadmi tha ye, habit of speaking politely to everyone initially, loving father, wants her daughter to marry someone who is wealthy, initially skeptical, he doubts Lomov, but eventually approves of him as a suitable match for her daughter Natalia. This is Natalia Stepanovna, young unmarried girl of 25 years, a good housekeeper and educated, short-tempered, quarrelsome and greedy, bilkul papa ki beti hai, eager to fall in love, uses presence of mind to go with the flow of situations, turn things for her benefits. Last mein hai Ivan Lomov. He is a neighbor, 35-year-old bachelor, landowner, पैसे वाला है खूब, looking for a perfect match, hypochondriac, who is obsessed with illness, रात में 10 बार उठता है वो, क्योंकि उसकी कोई नर्व ट्विच हो जाती है, ठीक है, starts trembling, twitch in his right eyebrows when he is nervous, suffers from palpitations, okay, easily excitable and gets awfully upset, lacks confidence and keeps beating around bush, spends sleepless nights. This is Lomov. So this farce drama is about how wealthy families seek to tie up with one another through marriages in order to increase their property and wealth. Lomov is a rich bachelor who wishes to marry Natalia, the daughter of Chubukov, who himself is a rich man. Natalia, the play deals with how all the three characters are very quarrelsome. लड़ते रहते हैं, पूरे play में लड़ते रहते हैं. They quarrel over trivial issues. किसका कुत्ता better है, किसका खेत है, किसने दिया था, you know, छोटी छोटी बातों पे. Lomov is not really in love with Natalia but wants to marry her क्योंकि उसके पीछे कोई reason है. एक तो वो बड़ा हो गया है, बूढ़ा होने जा रहा है, इसलिए उसको शादी करने का राइट टाइम है, इसलिए वो नटालिया के पास आता है. एंड शी इज़ अ गुड हाउस कीपर ऑल्सो, ब्यूटिफुल एंड वेल एजुकेटेड. ही फील्स दैट इट इज़ द टाइम ही शुड सेटल डाउन. तो उसके पीछे भी सेल्फिश पर्पज है, यू नो, देयर इज रीजन व्हाई ही कम्स टू मैरी हर. नटालिया, हु डजंट नो ही हैज़ कम टू प्रपोज हर, उसको पता ही नहीं है कि प्रपोज करने आया है, feels that he has come to claim oxen meadows. Farce means very petty humor. Shri means humor which is not, you know, of high level. That's farce. So very petty issues, they keep quarreling. Okay, it's a play. This results in a quarrel with the father Chubukov joining in after much mud slinging. एक दूसरे पे कीचड़ उछालते हैं, verbal कीचड़. ठीक है. When Natalia comes to know that he has come to propose her, she becomes willing to marry him. जब उसको पता चलता है अरे वो तो प्रपोज करने आया था, वो कहती नहीं मुझे तो अभी शादी करनी है उससे. द प्रपोजल इज मेड एंड एक्सेप्टेड विद द नॉलेज दैट क्वारल्स विल टेक प्लेस इन लाइफ. लड़ाई झगड़े तो होते रहेंगे, अभी तो शादी करो. सब रेडी हो जाते हैं. इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स शुड नॉट बी साइड लाइन बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. सो फाइनली शादी हो जाती है. वॉट इज द प्ले राइट्स इंटेंशन इन द गिवन एक्सट्रैक्ट? पैल्पिटेशन मीन्स फास्ट हार्ट बीट, प्रणव. और यू नो कुछ नर्वसनेस के अटैक्स आते हैं palpitations में. You see, very fast heartbeat and the person is not able to be conscious at that time because of palpitations, fast heartbeat and attacks of nervousness. Okay, Roshan. Why did she want to marry Lomov? Because he is rich, he is a suitable boy. Pranay. ठीक है, he is a suitable boy, he is rich, he is a landowner. What is the playwright's intention? The playwright's intention in the given extract is to satirize. यही तो purpose है. He wants to satirize the superficiality of the upper class in Russian society. They're superficial. They're not very, you know, they don't do things by heart. You know, they see purpose, they see some selfishness in that. They have some hidden motive, you know, behind every action. If according to Chubukov and Natalia, Lomovs are not honorable people, why do they still consider Lomov's proposal? जो अभी आपने पूछा, Priyanshu. That's what you asked, na? Right now, why do they marry one another, each other? Because even if they are quarreling, because Lomov's status in society supersedes everything. Okay, his status in society supersedes everything. Throw a light on the character of Natalia. Money matters, of course, Krishna. Yes. To strike out the mistake, use pen only, Krishna. Don't waste time in changing the pen or pencil during the exam. Roshan ne likha sabse bada rupaiya. Exactly. Natalia is a 25 years old daughter of Chubukov. She is well educated, good looking, yet unmarried. She is an excellent housekeeper and estate manager. However, she is extremely quarrelsome, fussy and proud. However, she is extremely, she engages on an argument of owning oxen meadows and in another argument over whose dog is superior than the other. Select the option that correctly identifies a tone. Antagonism, humor, contempt, irony. अब इसका आंसर तो आप ही दो प्लीज. I am waiting. अरे यार डिस्प्ले हो गया. I clicked the button. It's okay. It is what? Antagonism and contempt. Negative feelings, right? So antagonism and contempt. These two. 1 and 3. How does Natalia excite Lomov to the point of verbal fighting? Okay. Natalia repeatedly insisted that Oxen Meadows are theirs and told Lomov that up to now she considered Lomov as a good neighbor and friend. This excited Lomov to the point of verbal fighting. Verbal fighting शुरू हो जाती है. Finally, last question. Chekhov made fun of courtship in his day by using humor and exaggeration in the play. Write a paragraph using examples from the lesson, the proposal, to help you explain. Mention any values you believe are necessary for a successful partnership as well. Roshan is asking me fourth option क्यों नहीं? अरे बता देते हैं अभी, रुको. कहाँ गया? 3 and 4. Contempt irony नहीं होगा ना बेटा? Irony तो अलग चीज होती है रोशन. Irony means when you say something but you mean opposite to that. ठीक है? That is irony. But tone यहाँ पे ironical नहीं है. हाँ, play के अंदर irony है. वो hypocrites हैं, सारे के सारे hypocrites हैं. सामने कुछ और, अंदर से कुछ और. ठीक है? लेकिन tone यहाँ पे ironical नहीं है. Tone is antagonistic and full of contempt. जब आप ये डायलॉग पढ़ोगे देखोगे आप कैसे वर्ड्स यूज हो रहे हैं. ड्रंकार्ड, लूनसी, हम्प बैग्ड, देख रहे हो आप कैसे वर्ड्स. गजलिंग गैम्बलर, ये सारे नेगेटिव वर्ड्स हैं ना. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड रोशन? सो एंटेगनिज्म एंड कंटेम्प्ट, दैट विल बी द आंसर. Chekhov has used humor and exaggeration in the play to comment on courtship in his times. Ivan Lomov and Stepan Chubukov have known each other for years and share a cordial relationship. When Lomov goes to meet Chubukov and asks for Natalia's hand in marriage, Chubukov is elated. उसको बहुत खुशी होती है क्योंकि वो पैसे वाला है ना, इसीलिए. He hugs and kisses Lomov as he cannot contain his joy. Chubukov is a hypocrite and his hypocrisy creates humor in the play when he starts hurling abuses at his old friend Lomov and talks to him in a derogatory manner. He does this to support and encourage the shrew Natalia in her arguments with Lomov. What also adds to the elements of humor in the play that the real purpose of the meeting, the marriage proposal, is almost forgotten amidst all this quarreling over petty issues. मैरिज प्रपोजल तो वो भूल ही जाते हैं, इतना लड़ते हैं एक दूसरे से. फर्स्ट फ्लाइट का प्रोज आपका रिवाइज हो चुका है पूरा. एवरीथिंग वी हैव कवर्ड. आर यू हैप्पी विद दिस रिविजन? प्लीज शेयर योर कमेंट्स इन द कमेंट सेक्शन एंड आई होप कि आपको दोबारा से ये करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़े. अगर फिर भी टाइम मिलता है तो मैं आपको कहूँगी कि रिवाइज करो. ये PDF ले लो, जॉट फॉर्म फिल करके यू टेक दिस PDF. This will be enough. This will suffice your last minute revision. Did you understand, everybody? Subarna has asked me something. I have a question from Book That Saved the Earth. The historioscope stated the happenings of 2000, which is 21st century, but in the chapter it's mentioned in 20th. Why so? Subarna, that is a forecast. You know, some chapters are written thinking about future events. So, this is written in the perspective of that only, that this thing is going to happen in future, 2040. Just like in class 9th you had the fun they had, remember? Class 9th chapter you had. So something which is predicted for future. That's where there is a difference between the present time and future time. Okay, Subarna? Anyways, कल आपका footprints without fee का revision होगा बच्चों. Morning, evening, दोनों टाइम पे footprints चलेगा. So be ready for that. Grammar practice, Krishna, already session हो चुका है. पहला rapid revision grammar का ही था. YouTube पे आपको मिल जाएगा. If you type Ellen Digital English rapid session grammar. ओके, सो फर्स्ट पार्ट उसमें 50-60 क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस हुए थे. अच्छे क्वेश्चंस हैं, देख लेना उसको एक बार. ये आपका फर्स्ट फ्लाइट कंप्लीट हो गया है. टुमारो फुटप्रिंट्स विदाउट फीट. उसके बाद राइटिंग एंड रीडिंग भी करेंगे. राइटिंग सेक्शन इंक्लूडिंग लेटर एंड एनालिटिकल पैराग्राफ. रीडिंग सेक्शन भी आपको सॉल्व करवाऊंगी, पैसेजेस सॉल्व करवाऊंगी. सो स्टे ट्यून्ड फॉर द सेम. बाय बाय एवरीबॉडी. Good night.
Are you preparing for NEET, JEE or school exams? Have you ever noticed how different you are from your batchmates or friends. Someone has a very strong memory and someone is so quick at grasping concepts. Then why should everyone prepare the same way?
Alan has been delivering results for the past 35 years. Building on this foundation, Alan brings you the Alan app, a new era of learning where everything for your preparation is specially designed for you using AI-powered technology. Let's take an example of Alicia from Mysore and Piyush from Vizag. As they study on the Alan app, we continuously analyze their performance. What topics are they weak at? Why and where they are going wrong? Based on these insights, personalized practice quizzes, study plans, and test strategies are generated for both of them. For instance, in Piyush's chemistry quiz, 50% of the questions are from organic chemistry because that's where he needs to focus. Alicia, on the other hand, needs to work on her speed. Not only that, the Alan app's study planner creates a weekly plan for every student, allowing them to focus solely on their studies. For Alicia, the plan focuses on practicing biomolecules this week, while Piyush needs to concentrate on atomic theory lectures and notes. Alan not only prepares you for the exam, but also supports you in every aspect of your journey. If you have doubts, you can instantly clarify them on the app or directly with the faculty. Feeling worried, nervous or confused? Connect with a mentor. Parents too get the right support through regular updates and PTMs so they can support you in the right way. We are offering free crash courses for 10th boards, JEE and NEET so that you can experience the new Alan app. Download the Alan app now.